Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, the show where Tennelle and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Sean.
I'm Tennelle.
And today we are looking at our first 1978 film.
Woo!
How exciting.
Always so excited when we start a new year!
Yeah, and this year we are starting with Goldwing 123 or 123.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
From South Korea.
Technically its name is Golden Wing, although here it's Goldwing.
Translations.
Yep. I mean, that's a pretty close translation, all things considering.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some questions, though, about the rest of the cast and the names that they're given. Like, what's their protagonist's name is like Jack Flynn or something like that. I kind of doubt his name is Jack Flynn in the original
What?
South Korean version. Yeah. So again, this is a film made in South Korea. The version of it that Sean and I were able to watch was a English dub, which honestly made it pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's that English dub, you know? It's the poorly put together, but like, just competent enough that it's not annoying. It's just kind of amusing.
Yeah. It's not terribly good, but like the silly voice acting kind of made it better.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, there's some fake accents put on in this
Hello,
movie.
I'm the dad. How are you today?
It's so funny. It's like all of his kids. This guy has like 5 kids, and they all speak
3 kids.
Whatever. They all like are just talking normally, and then whoever voice acted the dad is just like, I'm going to put on a pseudo-Swedish accent. Oh, it's like, and he's not the only one. There's somebody else too, which might be the same voice actor, I think.
Yeah,
putting on a different accent.
All of the government people are like, hello there, I got a Tennessee accent. I am the government man for this here movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you doing?
What's going on? Yeah, I think in my notes I was able to see that the dub had only 5 voice actors credited, but there was 8 total.
Okay. Well, there were definitely more than 5 characters, or 8 characters for that matter.
Yeah.
All right, plot synopsis.
Yes.
There's a kid. He saves an alien from a car crash. The alien imbues him with superhuman powers, and he is now Goldwing.
And then the alien dies.
Yeah, and then the alien goes...
Yeah.
And so he needs to save the alien's daughter from an evil alien who has her brainwashed or something, and also stop that guy from taking over the world, or, you know, that's the general gist. Anyways, this kid has an adopted dad who has 3 other children who are...
Because of course he has to be an orphan.
Of course he's an orphan. But he has 3 adopted siblings, and their dad talks like this, and he has made a giant Mazinger Z robot. Except it's not Mazinger Z. But it's Mazinger Z again.
Or Taekwon V.
Robot Taekwon V? I mean, it's not, but like, it is. Because
this is the same director.
It's the same director as Robot Taekwon V, so he just keeps taking the same ideas and doing them again. I mean, it allows you to reuse animation if you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, the 2 oldest of the adopted siblings pilot this giant robot. Goldwing himself gets a panther.
Yeah.
A robo-panther. Pantera. They get attacked by bad guys. They fight them off. They eventually win. One of the bad guys is a guy with human skin, but then underneath it turns out he's just Iron Man.
Yeah. Like, and they're like, he's a cyborg. And I'm like,
is he though?
Is he though? He's like all robot.
Like,
I'm pretty sure even the skin part isn't like skin. It's just, you know.
Yeah, but like his face is 100% old school Iron Man mask.
Oh, yeah.
It's really silly. And instead of having the robot girlfriend sacrifice herself to save the scientists in the lab that's exploding, this time we have Iron Man who has changed sides to save the scientists from the lab that is exploding.
I guess they
It's
realize...
the exact same thing.
Yeah, this plot is, like, basically one-to-one with the...
Mazinger Z.
Robot Taekwon V.
Yeah, that, not robot.
Yeah, movie that we watched from this director. But I will say, this is a better version of that movie. Like, this one's just better in every way. And, like, it's still not great by any means, but it was fine. It was good. It was fun.
Like
the Goldwing design is good. Like, the art aesthetic has gotten a whole lot better. I like these characters more in general. I'm more interested in them.
I will say there is the one, like, weird thing that just kind of exists. It's not terrible, but, like, because the main character is adopted.
I knew we were going to talk about this. There's a scene.
There's a scene where the adoptive sister is like, hey, we should go on a walk. And so they walk off by themselves. And then the younger sister, who's like 10
or younger
is like, oh no, he doesn't love me, and goes crying and runs away and runs off a cliff.
Yeah, and then the plot continues.
And then Goldwing has to save her and stuff. But like, it's very clearly implied that like that sister and the dude are definitely like kind of dating or something. And it's like, even if you're an adopted sibling, that's weird and not okay.
Ew.
So other than that,
not cool movie.
Pretty much the rest of it is really harmless. It's just silly action fun. And even that is just like a super minor thing.
Yeah. And another thing I like about this one is there's not any like really obvious jokey sidekicky characters. The closest you get to that is the brother, who's just like, he's an older brother and he's kind of big and dumb. And he eats a lot. And, like, that's the joke. But it's a lot better than, like, a lot of these, like, kid protagonists that they often have in these kinds of movies. Or, like, animal companion that talks all the time. But whatever. Like, this was fun. I'd honestly... This is one I would recommend to, like, your anime club to, like, all watch together and laugh at. You know, like, this is perfect for... like a con or anything for everybody to just like sit around and have a good time.
And you can't forget that it has an absolute bop of an opening theme.
A bop, if I ever heard one.
Goldwing, Goldwing, super powered.
Fast as lightning, da, da, da.
In the sky.
Yeah,
I don't remember the words.
So good.
But like,
I'm sure you'll play it here, please.
Oh, I will absolutely be playing it, probably at the beginning and end of this episode.
Yeah, it is. Mwah.
It's
so good.
Beautiful.
And set the tone perfectly for the film. But no, this one was good. I'd recommend it if you're into something silly.
Yeah. And I think that's it for this episode. Pretty short, fairly unoffensive, just kind of exists.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're not done with South Korea for this year.
No.
No, in fact, our next movie is also from South Korea, but from a completely different group of people.
Interesting.
We have a stop-motion film from called Kongjui and Patchui, and I probably pronounced that incorrectly, and I'm sorry.
Hopefully we'll learn the names by watching the movie.
Yeah.
And then be able to remember them well enough by the time we do the review.
Oh. See you then.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the soundtrack being reused in He-Man. That's a thing.